now, please let me finish the question before you raise a hand, because I can't read and look at the same time. Just not. You know, they just published a study yesterday, by the way, speaking of multitasking. They just published a study yesterday that indicated that this whole nonsense about multitasking on computers where students can actually study their homework while they're watching YouTube videos and listening to is crap. Okay?
Yeah.
Humans cannot do that. Okay? So, if any of you think you can, or any of you have 15-year-old teenage girls, like I do, think they can? Nah, not working. So, we have scientific proof it's all right.
It's all right. Back and forth, back and forth.
All right, true or, yes, that's okay.
It takes me hours to do everything.
True or false? Sales and marketing are the same thing.
False.
False. What is sales? What is the relationship between sales and marketing? That's all I got. It's not a bonus question. It's just, what's the relationship between sales and marketing? Oh, come on. Yeah, better.
Well, sales, you're trying to sell people stuff, and marketing, you're not really trying to sell anybody anything. You're just trying to figure out what they would or could buy, depending on like their demographics.
Well, yeah, I think there's a bunch of different ways to answer the question, frankly, and you're right. I mean, I think for most people, their perception is that sales is the process of trying to push something on somebody, convince somebody that they want it or need it, even if they don't. Okay, which is not what we do in marketing. Sales is actually a subset of marketing. Okay, and actually, when we come down to the last P, sales is part of promotion. Okay, so it's really a subset of one of the 4 Ps. Okay. All right. Give me a definition, or give me the name that this is a definition for. Anything that can be offered to a market for attention, acquisition, use, or consumption that satisfies a want or need. Anything that can be offered to a market. Ooh, this is really close. Okay.
Product.
Yes, a product. That is a product. I might subconsciously sort of kind of try to keep it. If it's a tie, you know, it's a tie, I'll probably give it 2 and 5. Shocking. It's not a machine. All right. True or false? Satisfied employees create satisfied customers. Ooh, yeah, okay. True. Yeah, why? Service, right? It's about service. It's about the experience. Bitter and angry employees find it really difficult to provide a good service. All right. There are a series of questions that there's a list of options, and you have to basically match the option with the definition. Okay, and they are. There's 2 batteries of these things on the quiz, and they screw people up sometimes. Okay. So let me give you the choices first, and then I'm going to read a definition, and you need to pick the choice. So you might want to. Yeah, just anyway, my job now. Okay. 3 choices for this battery of questions are tangibilizing a service product, standardizing variability, controlling perishability. Okay. Of those 3 choices, which of those is exemplified in employee uniforms? Tangibilizing service, standardizing variability, controlling perishability. Unfortunately, to answer your question, what you guys are figuring out, I think you may want it first. Tangibilizing the service product, right? The uniform is essentially a visible indication of who is providing the service, and in some cases is an indication possibly of what level of service you can expect. Right, so a uniform is a way in which we tangibilize service. All right, here's another one. An airline, again, let me finish the question before you read it. An airline regulates demand and supply, such as charging different prices during off-peak seasons, is an example of which of those three? Great.
Variability, the standardizing. I guess I messed the whole.
No?
I had them based on this, and
Okay,
I wasn't
I'm
listening
switching.
to his two definitions.
Controlling perishability, okay? It's controlling, okay? Right, variability is variability in service, okay? Generally speaking, the best way to control variability is by training, okay? Controlling perishability because I want a lower price during off-peak times in order to try to sell as many seats as I can, because after the flight takes off, I can't sell them again. It's kind of the definition of perishability. Yeah, remember the purpose of this is to give you a bit of a sense of what the quiz is like so that you're not blindsided. All right? What is the central goal of hospitality marketing? Wow, okay. Sort of. I'm
It's
looking for a better definition.
the art of finding, retaining, and growing profitable customers.
Yeah, exactly. And the other way to put that is the piece of the puzzle, Rita, that I was looking for was profit. Okay? It's a customer satisfaction leading to profit. Okay? Right? The whole purpose of marketing, the whole purpose of running a business is to produce a profit.
Saved my ass after the last one.
Because when it's profitable, you get to do whatever wonderful things you're doing again. And it helps you to do it even better. Creating a service culture begins with who? Or what? Creating a service culture.
Focuses on the customer.
No, that's how you create a service culture. I mean, yes, you do focus on it, but the question is, creating a service culture begins with
The manager or management.
right management leadership, and the goal is focusing on the customer.
Okay.
You're right. In fact, there's a different question on the quiz that actually looks for that answer. Okay, that is, what is marketing focus on?
Okay.
We're talking about creating the culture is created by senior management, and the focus of marketing is on the guest, the customer, always.
I just gotta beat her raising her hands, that's all. That's the problem. She's quick.
All right, I'm going to read you this question because this is a difficult question, I confess, okay? And if I don't give you a clue up front, what I want you to do is to focus on, I think it was maybe in the second chapter, maybe the third chapter. It talks about different marketing concepts. It talks about different approaches to business concepts, one of which was a manufacturing concept, one of which was a production concept, one of which is a selling concept, one of which was the marketing concept. It was on a wheel, like a circular thing, okay? All right, so what they're going to do is this gives you a scenario, and you have to identify which of those concepts this represents, okay? And the reason I point this one out in particular is because this example actually comes out of a previous edition of the book, but it's a good example, so I kept it. And so, if you're, the example itself will not necessarily be familiar to you, even if you really would, except for you. There's a restaurant in the Swiss Alps with a balcony that has a view of the lake where customers like to eat breakfast. However, it's not efficient for the hotel to serve breakfast at the location. This scenario is an example of what? The product has a feature that guests like, but it's not efficient for the producer or the manufacturer or the marketer to offer it.
Do I need wants and demands?
No. This is one of those concepts, right? One of those concepts. Like I said, it's a tough thing. Go back and look at the definitions of those different concepts. Yeah, read it.
Demand management?
Well, it kind of, but no, it's not. All right. I'll give you this one, okay? It's the production concept. The decision is made, okay? It's the production concept says that we will produce what it is efficient for us to produce. Okay? Okay? And that therefore, customers will buy what it is most efficient for us to produce because it's least expensive. Okay? In this case, they're saying it isn't efficient to offer it, so we're not going to. It's not a, and if you remember, I said none of these other orientations make any sense except the marketing concept, because the others, manufacturing, production, and selling, all focus on the marketer's values as opposed to the customer's values. Okay? Because here, the marketer is saying, because it isn't efficient for me to make it available, I'm not going to. Rather than saying, okay, it's not efficient to make it available, but if the customer values it enough and is willing to pay the price, then I'll make it available. Okay, that would be the marketing concept, okay? That's kind of a give one, all right? The next, there's another battery of questions where you have to, again, match a definition to a description. And those deal with intangibility, inseparability, variability, and perishability. Okay? Now, which of those is represented by changing different prices during off-peak hours to manage supply and demand? Yeah, great.
Perishability?
Perishability, exactly. It's the same question we just had, right, in a different form. Right? It's the airline thing, so now we're not talking about airline.
Because I got it.
In most cases, demand management is an effort to control perishability, especially in our business. Okay? There are lots of different ways to control demand: queuing, taking reservations, increasing prices, lowering prices, shifting demand. Okay, but again, when it comes right down to it, we do all of those things in order to try to reduce our perishability. We want to sell every seat we have to sell. Okay? Something that cannot be seen, tasted, felt, or heard is what?
And go ahead.
Intangibility.
Intangibility, exactly. Right? It's the experience. Toughest thing we have to grapple with. I know what kind of food Pita Pita sells. Well, what kind of experiences, right? So the trick is, we gotta find people that like that kind of food or are adventurous or are willing to try, but also are interested in that kind of experience. Okay, if you want a big fancy sit-down place to do that, that's not what you're doing. All right. Much of the behavior of employees toward customers is the result of what?
Management?
Yeah, but no.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I can. Much of the behavior of employees toward their customers is a result of what? You tried, you want to try? Get training, yeah. Okay. The management orientation, creating a management, well,
Aren't they both, like, training, because managers train people,
Yeah.
and then also how they're dealt with every day?
yes, and this is one of those questions, because management philosophy is also one of the options. It's one of those questions where I can set both. I think in this context, training is a slightly more accurate answer, because management philosophy then ultimately leads to training, which then ultimately leads to, okay, so you have to kind of skip over training to get to it, right? Unless management commits to training, invests in training, then that management philosophy doesn't get transferred to the employees. Okay, so the way it's transferred is the training, that's why. Okay. But yeah, it's one of those where I got two things circled on this. So you're not wrong, she was just right. Oh, I'm sorry. See? I can't.
We can both get one.
That's a tub.
And no phone is in order.
One.
No, I'm not even sweating it. It really won't be that bad.
What do you want, a half? The process of establishing a mutually profitable relationship with individuals or groups to obtain what they need and want by creating and exchanging products and value is called what? That's a big, long one.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say networking, but.
Okay. Wrong, but yes. Want me to repeat it?
Yes.
Okay, all right, it's kind of a long one. The process of establishing a mutually profitable relationship by which individuals or groups get what they need or want through the creation and exchanging of products and value. Okay? It's kind of a big definition.
Is that a transaction?
Great.
Value proposition.
No, the value proposition is a component to making it happen, but this is a description of actually what's occurring. It's kind of a macro thing. Stacy?
Marketing alpha.
You know, there are two answers to this question. One is marketing, okay, which is kind of creating
Marketing,
profitable
definition of
relationships.
marketing is right. Looking here.
The other is the broader definition is actually just commerce. We're talking about everything, okay, it is the process of commerce.
Is that considered a transaction, or how are those different?
Transaction occurs, the transaction occurs within commerce. Okay, so yeah, there's actually lots of definitions that could sort of fit to this.
Okay.
Given the number of, that are available here, commerce is the best definition of that, of what's written here. Okay, there's a second one that's marketing, okay, and I can also buy marketing too. Okay, the whole idea here is to understand that the key thing here is to understand that commerce is based on the notion of creating a mutually profitable environment where people get what they need through the creation and offering of products and services. Okay, it's like a big picture definition. Okay, marketing facilitates that. Marketing then ultimately results in an exchange, which is kind of the end of that process. That's kind of a out there philosophical kind of question. First to admit.
Commerce. Yeah.
The perceived value delivered relative to, I'm sorry, let me say it again, I kind of garbled the words. The perceived value delivered relative to a buyer's expectations is what? Perceived value delivered based on a buyer's expectations. Yeah.
Is it value proposition?
It is, but that's not what.
Because it okay.
Yeah, it's the perceived, the value proposition is, and this gets into the weeds a little bit, unfortunately. The value proposition is the way that the marketer crafts their products and services
Yeah,
in order
that's the way you
to.
propose your value of your
Right,
product.
it's
Okay.
what you're creating.
Can you
Okay.
take that one more time, please?
Yeah, the perceived value delivered relative to a buyer's expectations. So this is from a customer's perspective, not from a marketer's perspective. What is the customer determining here?
Need versus want, I guess? Is that what they're doing?
The choices that you will have to choose from are quality, customer value, relationship marketing, and customer satisfaction. Okay, I'm not just giving it, but go ahead. Yeah, there's actually a couple things, okay? I could actually make the case
So
that.
why aren't we good on the 4 versus?
No, I could actually make the case that 3, I'm not gonna give you one, but 3 of the 4 could apply here, okay? One is quality. Quality is defined as
Say
price
customer
plus value,
value.
right? Okay. Customer value, okay, that one probably is the closest, or customer satisfaction, okay? Any of them could probably apply here.
But you're looking
But then
for
only one of
customer
them is right.
No, actually, I would accept virtually, the only answer I wouldn't accept here is relationship marketing.
Okay.
But all of these are multiple choice, they're not just like fill in the blank.
Well, you get a choice of 4 choices and you
Okay.
have to fill the blank with one of those choices,
Okay.
okay? Right. But again, a lot of these have more than one, and here's the whole point. The point is, I want you to go beyond simply memorizing definitions. I want you to actually understand what they mean. Okay? Right, so I'm pretty liberal about the answers that I'll accept on a lot of these things. Okay, but I
Definition
actually
guy.
want you to think about it. What I used to do in the old days, which I don't do anymore, is I used to do a post-test review.
Right, so then how does
And
it,
I'd give everybody their test back, and if you disagreed with an answer, then we would have a conversation about it. I used to call those sessions, let's make a deal. Okay? But I got feedback from students that it was just too confusing, because then they didn't know what it was they were supposed to learn. Okay, so I kind of quit doing that, all right? No? But in point of fact, if you remember literally the first day of the class, first couple of days, I said, it's not about the answers, it's about figuring out what the questions are. Okay, and the answers to lots of the questions are, it depends. Okay, it's really mushy. Okay, that's the challenge of marketing, is that it's not a black and white, you know, I'm trying to create a system for you, but it's not a black and white, do this, and do this, and their magic happens, okay? What we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce the risk of failure by learning as much as we can, and even when we do that, we might fail. All right? Which of those quality, customer value, relationship marketing, and customer satisfaction creates an emotional tie to a product or service, resulting in customer loyalty? Which of those? Yeah. Okay, green, blue, sorry, blue. Whoever, you guys raised their hand. I saw a couple,
yeah, who raised
Connor
their hand
raised his hands, you
first
raised
that
your
he
hand?
called on?
Yes. Good. All right. Again, quality, customer value, relationship marketing, or customer satisfaction. The task of improving a product or service blank should be a company's top priority. That's an easy one. Oh, come on. Yeah,
Customer satisfaction?
not about quality. Right? Again, it's the kind of thing it's kind of hard to hear. The task of improving product or service quality should be a company's top priority. Right? No, but you haven't, now talk to me about why you think it's customer satisfaction.
Well, because if somebody's satisfied with all of the whole experience, they're gonna come back too.
Yeah, I like it. I probably would accept both answers. For just that reason, because you got a reason. It wasn't that you just guessed wrong, you actually had a reason, you thought through. Okay, that's what I want to have. See, I don't look at quizzes and tests as simply a measurement of what you know. It's another opportunity to learn. That's how I treat it. Okay, so yeah, I would buy that answer. Okay? All right.
Feeling we're all gonna be very pissed off on
Okay,
Tuesday.
All right, this is
Monday,
another
Monday.
intangibility, inseparability, variability, and perishability question. Which of those does this describe? The quality of service depends on who provides it, as well as when, where, and how it is provided. Yeah.
Variability.
I'm sorry?
Variability.
Yes. Absolutely. Right, and all of those things are impacted by training. All right, this is a research chapter question. right? A manager urging the secretary in an operation to collect data by reading magazines for a new menu idea is using what research technique? The key here is not the secretary, by the way. But, yeah, look, observation will be walking around actually watching people do it. Green, you want to give it a shot? I'll read it again. A manager urging the secretary in an operation to collect data by reading trade magazines for a new menu idea. Give me 5 seconds.
I mean, I get that. Is it environmental scanning?
All right, got it?
Can I try environmental scanning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Environmental scanning, exactly.
I'm sitting here going, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this one.
And that one, there's probably no other option.
Okay.
We're green.
That,
Yeah, we're green.
that's multiple, sorry. Because obviously I'm colorblind, you can't tell them apart.
Intuition is very
Oh, you're sure you remember that? Alright, here's a softball. Alright, what does the T in SWAT stand for? Man, that's like a dead tie. Alright, anybody?
It's threat.
Threats? Alright, I'll give you both ones for that. That was a softball. Donald Trump president. This is a true false. True or false? Only companies that understand their customers can survive in a highly competitive,
True.
True. Right.
Can you say that again?
And see, I actually said, hey, let me finish the question first, right?
Sorry.
Only companies that understand their customers can survive in a highly competitive environment. You're green, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. True or false? Marketing is carried out only by the marketing department. Again, this is really tough.
That was him.
Way too
I think that
close.
was Connor.
Okay. False, right?
I wouldn't know. He beat me.
This is really, I had one right, like, flip a coin.
Chomping at the bit over here.
This is another one from the quality, customer value, relationship marketing, and customer satisfaction batch. Blank is the totality of features and characteristics of a product or service that depends on its ability to satisfy customers. Got one. It's not one of the options. The options are quality, customer value, relationship marketing, and customer satisfaction. Green, you want a shot at it? Okay, Kelly?
Customer satisfaction?
Yep.
You're a easy question.
Yeah.
It was really fast.
Right? I'm sorry. It's, actually, it's quality is the total, the answer is quality. I'm sorry, I said customer satisfaction. Okay. Quality is the totality of features and characteristics of a product or service that depends on its ability to satisfy customers. Okay.
Okay. I can that one.
It could also be called customer value. All right, another one from the same batch. Individual, again, the options are quality, customer value, relationship marketing, and customer satisfaction. individual customer wants, such as one customer wanting the best price and another wanting the fastest and most convenient service, is an example of, yeah,
Customer value?
no. Nope. Relationship marketing. And why? Because we're determining individual value for individual relationships. Individual customer wants, that's the key. Okay?
Whatever.
Those are really tricky and somehow, and sometimes kind of so I'm spending a lot of time on. Intangible, this is back in the intangibility, inseparability, variability, and perishability batch. Which of those is this an example of? Children yelling in a restaurant causing guests to complain. Rita? No.
That's what I thought too.
Inseparability.
Yep, inseparability, right, you can't separate, okay, or intangibility, right, either inseparability or intangibility.
Can I make an argument for the other team's answer of variability?
Sure.
I mean, like definition-wise, I guess it says the quality of service depends on who provides it, when, where, and how. Like, wouldn't the quality, if a server at a restaurant provided the same exact service twice in a row, but one time they had this screaming table of kids next to them, doesn't that change the product they provide?
The screaming child is not the result of poor service. The
No, it's not a part of the
child-
service at all.
The screaming child has an impact on the experience, so therefore it has an impact on intangibility, okay?
However, one could argue that the screaming child could cause poor service by distracting the server.
But it doesn't say that.
No, I'm just
Right.
saying.
That's not ad scenario, yeah, you've got to be careful not to add scenarios that aren't there, okay? It says yelling in a restaurant causing guests to complain, okay? The inseparability comes because it's having an impact on the guest, okay? And that has an impact on the service. That's the inseparability factor. Can't separate the guests or the employees from the service. But to me, the clear answer is the intangibility one, because it's
Customer
just
value,
making the
customer
environment less,
satisfaction,
it's changing the experience.
relationship
It's
marketing.
having a negative impact on the experience.
That's the part I gotta know.
Okay? And you might say, what does this have to do with anything? Okay? It just has to do with understanding what impacts the experience, that's all. Simple as that. All right. There are some on here that are more direct, such as, oh wait, you guys got a phone for that, didn't you?
Even though I argued for the other team's answer.
This could be the winner, so there.
Let's do it.
All right, true or false? If we think back to the management information systems and the sources of information that we talked about in the chapter on marketing and research, okay? True or false? Guest history information is the least valuable. False. Guest history information is actually the most valuable. It's showing you exactly what's going on in your micro environment. All right, so now we really are going to come down to it.
Don't make it true or false.
If we look at the factors in the macro environment, the question question about the macro environment. Remember the factors in the macro environment, which include demographic, cultural, competitive, political, and economic. Which of those is this a definition? For a company, I can't do that. That won't work. All right. Institutions and other forces that affect society's basic values, perceptions, preferences, and behaviors. Which of the macro environmental factors is that? Oh, you guys are killing me. That was like dead on. I think by a hair, yeah.
Political environment?
No. I'll give you a definition of that.
I get, yeah.
I'll give it. Institutions and other forces that affect society's basic values, perceptions, preferences, and behaviors. Cultural, right. The definition of political is the set of laws, governmental agencies, and pressure groups that influence and limit activities of various organizations. Okay, government is the key there.
Okay, but I mean,
Values come from culture,
I also
okay?
got the question twice before the answer.
What's
That's
that?
fair.
Okay.
Is there a definition?
No, that works.
Okay. All right. Now, I'll read you another, the question I was going to read for the win. Okay, but I decided it was just inherently unfair. All right, but I would like to hear what you think the answer is. Same battery of options: demographic, cultural, competitive, political, and economic. For a company to expand its operations into Asian and European markets, they must become familiar with their blank environments. What do you guys think of this?
Cultural.
I'd say political.
What do you think of this?
Macro.
Okay,
All of them.
exactly, all of them. All right, answer is any, all, all right?
Yeah.
Any answer, you write down any answer from one of those, it's, because you have to get them all. You gotta understand the whole deal, because you gotta understand the whole macro environment, right?
Okay.
No one thing will get you.
32% or 100%.
All right. Hopefully that gets you a feel.
It depends.
This is a
The
challenging
answer is
question.
it depends.
It's challenging because of the format, challenging because of the way, and again, I've come closer to reading the questions to you than probably any quiz review has ever come. I will tell you, and it will be interesting to see how this works out. Again, remember, there's lots of ways to win. Now about the quiz. The average score from all the classes I've taught in this class of the first test is about 68. Okay?
Yes.
Right?
Let's
And
do it.
Right, so your challenge is beat that. Okay? Right? It's, and I attribute it to the fact that, and again, I've tried to be as literal as I can in the way I grade the thing, because there are a lot of questions with more than one answer. You know, I mean, what I really would like to do someday, if I had to, I'd love to make this like essay questions, you know, but it's just, they're so hard to grade and there's so much variation there. But just remember that, two essay questions, yeah. You know what they are? Yeah. Why not? Right? You know, you gotta remember, my goal is also to make this easier on me, okay, because it's really all about me. So anyway, like I said, I pretty much handed you the quiz. You know what's pretty much on there. You know what you need to study. You can kind of focus. You know how to study, okay, the intangibility and variability and all of that stuff. Okay, you'll notice there's no 4P questions on there, other than a little bit of product price place, but not a lot. Okay, there's the macro environment, micro environment thing. Okay, there's a little bit on research. There's a little bit on strategic planning. They got there's the SWOT question in there. Okay. If you review the questions at the back of the chapters, that really helps a lot, because a lot of these come from that, one way or another. All right, so what I'd like you to do now is get together with your groups, spend the next 20 that we
Could you
have,
tell me some of my answers?
working on your introduction